Why? The most mysterious word. Today I'll be looking at the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27, verses 45 to 47. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those standing there heard this, they said, "He's calling Elijah." The quote from Jesus on the cross that we just read, and that we get here in the Gospel of Matthew is preserved for us in Aramaic. Most people have a hard time pronouncing that. Aramaic was the common language in that region at this time. My assumption is that Jesus spoke a lot of Aramaic throughout his life. To give context here, Latin was for government. Hebrew was for the religious leaders and the temple. Greek was for culture and learning. And Aramaic was for home. Not everyone, by the way, was fluent in all of these languages. Certainly everybody would have known something of all of these languages. So the name Elijah means my God is Yahweh. My God is the Lord. I suppose some people mistook what Jesus was saying, thinking that he was calling for Elijah. Others think that Jesus was quoting from Psalm 22. Listen to this, Psalm 22, verses 1 and 2. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from my cries of anguish. My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer. By night, but I find no rest. Let's look a little further in the psalm to see some similarities with what was happening to Jesus at this moment. Now, keep in mind that this psalm was written almost 1,000 years before Jesus. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's keep reading. This is starting at verse 6. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by everyone, despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord, they say. Let the Lord rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. I mean, this is too good. You get the similarities, right? But let's just continue a little bit more. I'm going to read verses 14 to 18. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart has turned to wax. It has melted within me. My mouth is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You lay me in the dust of death. Dogs surround me. A pack of villains encircles me. They pierce my hands and my feet. All my bones are on display. People stare and gloat over me. They divide my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment. Okay, so are you in any doubt that not only is this psalm prophecy about the details of Jesus' suffering on the cross, but that Jesus knew this psalm and that it was, he knew also that it was written about himself. So in this case, it becomes even more interesting that Jesus in the same moment is asking, why? Why? Shouldn't he know why all this is happening? My answer is, of course he knew. Sure, he knew why this was happening. But until this moment that we read about, when he bore our sins on his own body, when he became sin and therefore became a curse for us, until that moment, Jesus had never experienced separation from the Father. And from this depth of suffering, Jesus asks the same types of questions that we ask ourselves. Why, God? Why? Of course, the psalm doesn't end there. The last two verses go like this. Posterity will serve him. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness, declaring to a people yet unborn, he has done it. That almost sounds like the last words of Jesus, which we'll talk about later. It is finished, right? He has done it. And so there is victory even in the why of Jesus. And so can there be in your life today. The Lord bless you.